This is a career path called logistics supply chain management. Does everybody know what that's all about? Well, I'm going to illustrate what that means using these chocolate chip cookies. So the question is, how does this chocolate chip cookie get here? Now, if somebody says it got there because I put it there, that's the right answer, but that's not the complete answer. That's not the big picture. So what does it take to put together a chocolate chip cookie? You got to have chocolate chips, right? Where are they made? Where everything made, chocolate's made, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. There actually is a place called Hershey, Pennsylvania. But how do you make chocolate? How do you make chocolate chips? What are they made out of?
Cocoa.
Cocoa. Actually, the name of the bean is a cacao bean. I have these actually grown in Ghana, West Africa. So the question is, for the supply chain manager, how's he going to get his cocoa beans to Hershey, Pennsylvania? What are the options? A ship or an airplane? Which is going to be less expensive? A ship. Okay. Now, we can't get a ship all the way to Hershey, Pennsylvania, so we're going to have to stop somewhere, unload them at a container port in Baltimore, Maryland. How are we going to get them from the container port to Hershey, Pennsylvania? Here are your options. Which one is less expensive? A train. You know, one driver, 87 drivers. So less expensive to ship it by train. But we got to get them to the bakery where the chocolate chip cookies are going to be made. How are we going to get the chocolate chips to the bakery from Pennsylvania to North Carolina? Less expensive. I'm going to put them on a train. Okay? So what else do I need to make chocolate chip cookies? You need flour, right? Flour comes from a flour mill. But how do you make flour? What do you make it out of? Wheat. So how am I getting my wheat from the farm in North Dakota to my flour mill in Minneapolis, Minnesota? How am I going to get it there? I'm going to put it on a truck. Probably because the train doesn't go to the farm. Okay? But then I'm going to have this flour from the flour mill go to an intermediate stop here in Missouri at a flour distribution warehouse. How am I going to get it from Minneapolis to Missouri? On a train. Then I got to get it to the bakery to make the chocolate chip cookies and put it on a train. Okay? Final thing I need is what's called shortening. That's what holds the chocolate chip cookie together. That's made out of soybeans. How do I get the soybeans to the shortening factory? A truck. Okay. How do I get the shortening to the bakery? A train. Are you starting to see why this is called supply chain management? You see the chain of events here? The chain of activities? All this has got to work together in order to get the right stuff to the right place to make chocolate chip cookies. But they're not here yet. They're trying to get them here. So how do they get from here to here? Probably sent to a wholesale grocery warehouse. How are they going to get there? Truck. You can't buy them at the wholesale warehouse. Where do you buy them? At a grocery store. How do they get there? A truck. And how did they get here?
In our car.
You got it in my car. Okay.
And here.
So we got 3 supply chains going into one supply chain that finally gets our chocolate chip cookie here. So just like this chain right here, what would happen if a link in this chain broke? It would fall with a disaster, right? What if one of the links in this chain broke?
Oh, they have to be replaced.
Have to be replaced, but while it was broken, there would be no chocolate chip cookies. Another disaster, right? So a supply chain manager is the one who makes sure that all these links work together. He's the guy who makes sure that you get the right stuff to the right place at the right time in the right amount at the least cost. That's what a supply chain manager does. That camera right there is the result of a very complicated supply chain management system. Everything you see in this room is the result of supply chain management. We couldn't live without supply chain management. So why are we talking to you about this? Two reasons. First of all, the opportunities for a supply chain management career in Henry County are huge. In fact, here are some of the jobs that you can get in Henry County in supply chain management. But where do you get started? Where do you get started to learn about logistics and supply chain management? At the Academy of Advanced Studies. You guys are all Academy students, right? Okay. Starting this fall, this is the first course in the pathway, logistics pathway. You can go on to the Southern Crescent Technical College and get an associate degree in supply chain management. You can get a bachelor's degree in supply chain management from Clayton State University. You can get a master's degree in supply chain management. Some of these upper level jobs here are going to require that kind of 4-year education. But where do you get started? You get started at the Academy of Advanced Studies. This course will be offered this fall, 2017.